The good news for the Giants is that triples and doubles have been flying all over the yard. The bad news, it's been a little tough to knock them in. They took a bases-loaded walk last night, but the Giants got the win. Now they face off with the big bats of Boston one more time. Giants, Red Sox, next. Day baseball here at the corner of 3rd and King as we get ready to wrap up this 3-game series, Red Sox and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. The win last night for the Giants, well, that evens the series. So the winner today takes the series. And this is going to be an interesting start for Barry Zito.
Well, it will be an interesting start. Now, the one thing he has to do against this Red Sox team is he's got to get in that strike zone early. They will take a lot of pitches. They will not swing at a lot of pitches out of the strike zone. So his control has to be fine, and he has to be aggressive early on. If this is his 43rd time pitching in an interleague game, lifetime he's 14-22 against these Red Sox. He's 5-6. So he's due for a good game. We hope it's today.
You might think Buster Posey would be off. Day game after night game, not so. He would be catching Barry Zito. All right, when we come back, Amy G, she's going to take a look at some memories. That's right. Bruce Bochy's got some memories. Barry Zito's got some memories right after this.
To you by Jack in the Box. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos for only $3.99 plus tax. And by Toyota. Do the math and save at your local Toyota dealer.
we've got some Wednesday day game action at the Yard. Fans treated to a rubber match as the Giants go for the series win against the Red Sox. Welcome back to AT&T Park. I'm Amy Gutierrez, and the Little League World Series is in full swing, and we thought it would be really fun to take a look at some of your San Francisco Giants' favorite memories of when their careers started as youngsters. We have today's starter, Barry Zito, and the skipper, Bruce Bochy, on their Little League days. It's our Geico quote of the game.
I just barely made the cut, and I just barely got on the team. And they hadn't pitched me for like so many other games, right? And then the starting pitcher came out of the game. He got hit in the shin with a line drive in like the second inning, and then I pitched the rest of the game and did well, and we won. And it was just kind of like that underdog story where like they never gave me a chance, so I finally got one when someone got hurt. And we went and ate pizza after, and I was a hero that day.
We were close to winning the championship in Virginia and a chance to go to Williamsport, but I gave up a home run with 2 outs in the last inning there, and I was crushed. I couldn't stop crying. It's still, I look back on what a great time it was and a great memory, even though it didn't go very well.
Well, it's an emotional time for those youngsters and an exciting one, and it's so funny. They always remember getting pizza after the game. All right, the finale of this Red Sox series about to start. Kruk and Kipe will be back with first pitch and lineups, but first, we're going to check in with our fellas at Comcast Sportsnet Studios with an update right after these messages.
We get ready for baseball. Our game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. The admission-free boardwalk is now open daily. 68 degrees here at the yard. You see the humidity, winds at 11 miles per hour, and it's going to be, well, there'll be some scattered clouds, but it's going to be a beautiful day. All right, let's take a look at the Red Sox lineup, brought to you by Coors Light. Ellsbury, Victorino, Pedroia, Ortiz, not in the lineup yesterday, in the lineup today, and you can see what he's done his last 15 games at first base. Gomes, Saltalamacchia, followed by the former D-back Drew, then Middlebrooks 8th, and Dubront will pitch in bat 9th.
On the hill today for the Giants will be Barry Zito. Barry Zito back in the rotation. You see what he's done this year. 22nd time he will be taking the ball in a starting assignment. Had 4 relief appearances, 4-8 on the year with a 5.34 ERA. Lifetime against these Boston Red Sox, 5-6 with a 5.12 ERA. You're going to see a fastball that's right around 83, 85 miles per hour, changeup, a cutter, a curveball, slider. He's going to mix it around, and that's where he's going to have to live. He's going to have to be able to make his corner locations, and if he does that, he'll do just fine today. Just take a look at that defense the Giants will employ behind Barry Zito today, starting in the Giants outfield from left to right. It'll be Kieschnick, Torres, and Pence, the best arm in right field. Crawford and Arias on the left side, with Sandoval getting another day off. Arias at third. Scudero and Belt, they'll be on the right side of the infield. Buster Posey, he'll be in the squad, putting down the signs. Day game after night game. The ultimate test for a catcher.
The Red Sox won on Monday night, 7-0, and then the Giants squeaked one out last night by a final of 3-2. So, as Mike mentioned, a quick turnaround for these two teams.
I shouldn't say a catcher day game after night game is the ultimate test. Maybe catching a double header after a night game. That would be the ultimate test.
This is the ultimate test for broadcasters our age. So here's Ellsbury. And the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's a called strike. Well, we just started right on time. So Ellsbury hitting .295, and here he takes down low. He went 1 for 4 on Monday, and he did the same last night, scoring a run in both games. He's never faced Barry Zito before, but everybody else in this lineup has, as this is lifted into the gap. And is it going to find the gap? And it will. So Ellsbury is going to lead this game off with a double.
Waited well on that big curveball going the opposite field gap. That's how you're taught. Curveball really not a bad one either. It's a good job of staying strong front side to put a swing on it. And you see the Giants had a pretty straightaway set. They hadn't pinched that gap in left center. So he sort of hit away from the defense, and just like that, the Red Sox have a runner in scoring position.
Had to have been looking for that. So here's Victorino.
He's had a good series.
Victorino at .286, 7 home runs, 39 driven in. As he's going to bunt through that pitch, and it's 0-1. The home plate umpire this afternoon is Dan Bellino. Rest of them go like this: Dreckman, Welke, and Everett from first to third.
Bellino's a low ball umpire, but you've got to pretty much stay between the knees of a catcher. If you can do that, you can set that target wide. You'll get big corners. If you go outside the knees, you don't get a lot.
There's a strike to make it 0-2. Victorino's had 15 lifetime at bats against Zito. He's got a couple of doubles with 3 hits.
Pedroia on deck. Very Hunter Pence-like in that on deck circle.
That's something I never thought I'd hear anybody say about Hunter Pence.
Well, it looked like Pedroia was swatting flies over there in The on-deck circle in front of his dugout. I think you could do a study of just what guys do in the on-deck circle and make it pretty interesting.
Yeah, a little bit. You're right. In tight to Victorino.
Yeah, looked like he tried to lean into that. Something that he will do.
All right, so judging by that, I'm not going to throw Pedroia a high fastball.
Yeah, 4 inches over his head. He's got it covered.
And Zito chases Ellsbury back. Ellsbury's got 45 steals, so he's not at all opposed to trying to steal third. Just underway here in San Francisco. And the 1-2 to Victorino is hooked foul. Hit a home run last night.
Second inning, a little fastball that sort of went middle in, stayed inside the swing and backspin it right out of here. It was a long one. That made it a 2-0 ball game at the time. And that would be the last run that Vogelsong would give up in his 7-inning stint. Red Sox 5th in all of Major League Baseball in hitting with runners in scoring position. Cardinals lead that category, and they're doing something that is historical this year in hitting with runners in scoring position.
So Zito bent over looking into Buster Posey. Got him.
It is the first inning, and it's not really a strikeout situation with a runner at second and nobody out, but I mean, that's a pretty big strikeout, though, in that he did get it in that scenario. I mean, it's a true strikeout situation when you get past about the 5th. But Zito definitely has got his curveball today.
Here's Pedroia, who's got some ownage on Zito. 4 for 6, a double and a home run. And Pedroia taking all the way, and he takes a strike with David Ortiz to follow. So Scudero moving a little closer to second to keep an eye on Ellsbury. And Pedroia takes wide. It's a ball and a strike.
Changeup just missed. And that's what Zito has to do. He's got to stay on those corners. This is a very patient Red Sox team. They'll take walks. They'll work counts. They'll take strikes. They want to get you out of a ball game by way of the pitch count. They absolutely utilize that against a starting pitcher as good as anybody in the American League.
And again, Zito will keep an eye on Ellsbury. Pedroia 2 hits in this series. His last at bat on Monday, he tripled. And then yesterday, Pedroia went 1 for 3. The pitch. Just inside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, that's some pretty good misses right there. Not that far away from the strike zone.
Ellsbury with his lead at second. 3-1. Zito 5-6 lifetime against the Red Sox. Hit out into right center field, but Hunter Pence has got a beat on this one. As Pence puts it away, Ellsbury will easily get to third. So 2 outs for David Ortiz. That's the beauty of this ballpark. You pitch those right-handed hitters away, and you let them hit it out to Triples Alley. And if it's not hit on the line, more so than not, it's going to be caught.
Just too many things working against the hitter. I mean, the winds, expansive area, high wall.
And now positioning.
I think this ballpark has changed the way that teams play the right fielder now. I really do. You see more and more teams, even away from this ballpark, that will pinch that gap in right center and give the line.
Low to Ortiz.
When you consider the philosophies that just about every hitting instructor in the big leagues or organized ball for that matter teaches, they talk about staying gap to gap, stay in the middle of the field. I don't see many guys coming up trying to pull.
So Zito working Ortiz very carefully, just as you would expect he would.
Big Papi, one of the most popular Boston athletes ever.
Inside corner strike. Tried to hit that inside corner. It's 3-1.
Pretty good pitch. And Zito, all of his misses so far have been close to that strike zone.
That was a walk-off win for the Giants last night.
Same pitch.
And that's hooked foul.
Guy had him played right. And that was a quick hug too.
That's pretty good. You before the sting even leaves your hand, you get a hug.
Yeah, but if he doesn't have his glove, no catch, no hug.
I mean, they just met. 3-2 to Ortiz. Hit on the ground to Belt. And Zito is going to get out of the inning after Ellsbury opened it up for the double. Giants are coming up. 0-0. Towards Light. It'll be Taurus Scudero and Brandon Belt, who is red hot. Buster Posey will be the cleanup hitter, then Pence, Arias, and Kieschnick. Crawford will hit 8th and Zito 9th.
On the hill today for the Boston Red Sox will be Felix Dubron, 6'2", 225-pound, 25-year-old out of Venezuela. He's in his third year at the big league level. This is what he has done. 8-6 with a 3.95 ERA, 119 strikeouts in 132 innings. And lefties, righties hit him just about the same clip. He's got a fastball that's low 90s, big curveball, slider, and a changeup. And if you were to rate his curveball, they throw more curveballs to right-handers, more sliders to lefties. And not really the type of guy that will throw a changeup with great consistency in 3-2 counts. So really got up to a good start of late. They're a little concerned about him. Got a three-quarter release. Let's take a look at the defense playing behind Dubron today. Starting in the Red Sox outfield from left to right will be Gomes, Ellsbury, and Victorino. Best arm in right field. Drew and Middlebrooks. That's the left side of the infield. Pedroia, Ortiz on the right side, and Jared Saltalamacchia will be in the squad putting down the signs.
So here's Andres Torres hitting .250. Torres with a couple of home runs, 21 driven in. Got into the game as a pinch hitter last night, and he drew a walk. He was a part of that winning walk-off walk rally, the most exciting play in baseball.
Yeah, well, it works.
And this is off of DeBrant, and he throws it into the short screen in front of the Red Sox dugout, and now we got to see if DeBrant is all right.
That's just not how you like to start your day. Like it caught the heel of his glove and then carried off of his hip. And I really can't explain the throw other than I think he tried to quit about halfway into the throw. Yeah. So it didn't cost him an extra 90 feet, which is really all the Red Sox care about. But apparently, LeBron is okay, and it's not going to be an issue.
So Scudero is going to hit. It'll be a hit for Torres. Scudero was the hitter last night that drew the walk that won the game. So Torres with good speed. He's at first. And Scudero, like he does a lot, taking all the way, takes a pitch wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Belt to follow. Ortiz holding on Torres, and it's in tight to Scudero. So the Giants got DeBrant in the stretch right off the bat. Two balls, no strikes. And now they get Torres picked off. And Torres is in the rundown. And it'll be Ortiz who tags him out. And the sad thing about that, if you're in that Giants dugout, it happened on a 2-0 pitch, where the pitcher is having a hard time throwing strikes.
Well, you know, that's the problem, not having a lot of history against an opponent. I mean, you're just not familiar with little things like moves. It almost happened last night with Roger Kieschnick, who was point in the game when he was facing Franklin Morales, and almost happened to him twice. You hate surprises, and that's definitely one of the ways you can be surprised as a runner with a pickoff move from an unfamiliar pitcher.
So DeBrant comes in 3-0 with Brandon Belt on deck. So Scudero taking all the way. It's now 3-2.
DeBrant not overthrowing. He's just trying to get a speed that will allow him to be in control and get in that strike zone.
And it turns out he walks Scudero anyway.
#17th time in San Francisco Giants history. That is the pitch that ended it with the bases loaded. 4 straight balls. Villarreal, the pitcher for the Red Sox, couldn't believe it was not called a strike, but let the celebration begin. Not quite as emotional as if you would have hit a ball off the wall, but hey, a win's a win.
Marquise Grissom did it in 06 in a Giants uniform. Here's Belt, who fouls it out of play. It's such a non-exciting play that the players don't even know how to celebrate. I think you have to go back to, for one of those, just do your basic high five.
Yeah. High five, hit the spread.
Yeah. 1-1 out of Belt. I'd have been very disappointed if the Giants would have torn Scudero's uniform off like they do around the league.
Yeah, no. Pies in the face, nah. Cooler dumped Gatorade, no.
Brunt is having a little bit of a problem with Dan Bellino right now.
He's dropping some stank eye on Dan Bellino. I don't know if that's the wisest thing to do.
Three and one.
Well, what kind of August is Brandon Belt having? Well, first in runs, first in slugging percentage, fourth in on-base percentage at .453, fifth in batting average, and sixth with home runs.
Pops this one a mile high into shallow right field. And Victorino, a center fielder playing right field, puts it away.
He got all that.
He did. So here's Buster Posey. Hitting at .303 with 14 home runs. He's got 62 driven in. And the first pitch is outside, 1-0. So Scudero with his lead with 2 outs. And that's fouled out of play. It's a ball and a strike. Buster Posey picked up an RBI at a sacrifice fly in the game. Hit it in the 8th inning that tied the game. It was a ball caught by Victorino in foul territory. And a lot was written after the game, and a lot was even said before the game today about should Victorino have caught it or let it fall in foul territory.
No brainer for me. Catch it.
Scudero started to go but put on the brakes.
And the one question you have to ask yourself is, you want to give Buster Posey another pitch to hit? I mean, he could hit that ball right over the wall. Now it's a 3-run homer. You're down by 2. Now, if it's a situation where you're giving up the go-ahead run, well, then that's a different scenario. But the tie run late, no.
Well, Boston is known for their offense. Hit into center field, but it's right at Ellsbury, and that will end the inning. So, a single and a walk, nothing going on for the Giants. Second inning coming up.
is brought to you by Bookit.com. Get special MGM Las Vegas offers at Bookit.com.
Well, Saturday, September 7th is the Giants' annual pregame Fiesta Gigantes celebration presented by Coors Light. Special event package for Fiesta Gigantes will include a ticket to the D-backs game and a Gregor Blanco bobblehead depicting the catch he made saving Matt Cain's perfect game. For tickets, visit sfgiants.com/special events. Remember, you must purchase the special event ticket to receive the Blanco catch bobblehead.
So here's Johnny Gomes.
Now, this guy's got 1,000 mannerisms getting in that box.
He does. A lot of it has to do with the bill of the helmet. And he takes a strike. He, like many of these Red Sox hitters, has 10 home runs, double-digit home runs.
And this guy does amazing things in that Red Sox clubhouse. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that when his playing career is done, he'll be a coach, maybe a manager. He is outstanding. And you start talking about the dynamic of a clubhouse, he gets it.
I suppose he's going to move over, and it'll be out of play. He actually had the same reputation last year in the Oakland A's clubhouse, and he was surprised that he wasn't asked to come back.
Well, the Red Sox took care of him. They gave him a nice contract, and there was actually a lot of people around baseball said, well, you paid too much for this guy. And the Red Sox will tell you, they got a deal. He has really made a difference on that team this year.
That's the same pitch Dubront has been wanting to get, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that's foul.
Right, our ball dude down there on the first baseline. Russ Hawken, left-hander, old player. Sykes wants another.
Got him. All right, with that strikeout, let's check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, just an update on Pablo, who is feeling better after being scratched from last night's lineup. I'm going to call Sergio out. He's throwing stuff at me while I try and give fans an update on Pablo. He was under the cage swinging a little bit today. He is available to pinch hit. Gentlemen, his back locked up on him Sunday on the flight from Miami, but he had an MRI last night after the game. Bruce Bochy said everything is clean. It's a good sign he is available to pinch hit today, gentlemen.
This is like having your little brother mess with you while you're...
Is it true, or does Amy get photobombed more than anybody on the planet?
Yeah, she likes it though. Yeah. She's got 2 little ones at home. They do the same thing at home. It's 2-0 to Saltalamacchia. Yeah, this is Romo messing with Amy G. Well, maybe it wasn't on purpose. Maybe it was just an accident.
Yeah, that's what we're going with.
3-0 to Saltalamacchia. And a strike. And the walk. So the second base runner for the Red Sox. There's a 1-out walk to the Red Sox catcher. And here's Drew. Drew has the most lifetime at bats against Zito. He's got 33 at bats. He's got 11 hits, so he's got a little bit of ownage on Zito. On the ground, foul.
All right. There's a test. Passed it easily.
Not a play. Oh, and 1. Andrew takes low and away. On deck is the third baseman, Will Middlebrooks. It's a bit tight. It's 2-1.
Put that same pitch in a catcher that's located off the plate and hits him right between the knees, you're going to get that pitch. If it goes outside the knees of Bellino, you just don't get a lot.
And that's roped foul.
And roped was the right expression. That was a loud strike. Middle end just hooks it. Let's watch the splash cam as this thing hits one bounce and hops into the water. Boom. Boom.
And this one's off of Drew's foot. And it remains 2-2.
Finally, we have a winner. And that splash hit Steve. Got a schmag going.
Just a ball.
Somebody get you for Christmas. I'm going to get you a splash hit Steve sweatshirt.
Just a ball.
And it was a water shot.
Just a ball. 2-2 to Drew. On deck is Middlebrooks.
With Saltalamacchia at first base, I don't think that John Farrell's going to start him here on this 3-2 count. I could be wrong. Not known to see catchers in August get the call to move.
And Drew got a piece.
Saltalamacchia not moving.
We pitch number 39 for Zito.
Pretty good little battle right here.
Belt playing in front of the bag at first. 3-2. And this is skied to right. And Pence will put it away. And here's Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks has never faced Zito before. 0-for-1 with a couple of walks on Monday. And then Middlebrooks got a couple of hits in the game last night. I think the best way to explain this Red Sox lineup, if you talk about their power, is every guy that comes up has got just enough power to hurt you. Middlebrooks has got 10. Saltalamacchia's got 10. Gomes has got 10. And Middlebrooks has got 11. It's 2-0 Red Sox. as Middlebrook hits one into the bleachers in left.
Well, the big guy likes to get extended, and this one up and in, the type of location that elevates on contact. Oh, he just fires off that back leg beautifully. There was no slide whatsoever. Really rotated through the ball. See on that swing right there where the Red Sox are excited about Middlebrooks.
So here's DuBrun. Only had one at-bat lifetime. Arias throws him out. And Arias with a nice play. Hunter Pence is going to lead things off. It's now a 2-0 lead for the Red Sox.
You buy eBay Now. Same day delivery from local stores for just $5 per order.
All right, log on to csnbayarea.com and click on Giants In-Game Live, presented by Eric's Deli Cafe. You can enhance the in-game experience on your computer, smartphone, or tablet. Giants In-Game Live, presented by Eric's Deli Cafe, only at csnbayarea.com. So the Red Sox on the Middlebrooks home run take a 2-0 lead. And now for the Giants, it'll be Hunter Pence to lead things off. DuBrun to Pence, and Pence looks like he may have been taking all the way. Takes Hine away. Pence hitting .280. 1 for 4 on Monday. Pence came back yesterday and went 0 for 3. 2-0.
DuBrun just has not been that sharp with his command. He's still looking for a release point. 2-0 lead. You're just trying to get in that strike zone. You're not trying to pitch around somebody. A little bit of a crossover step. It's a high 3/4. You watch from our Exmo. It's brought to you by our local Toyota dealer. And he's got a little sling. Nice free release. Little front shoulder lead.
And Pence saw the breaking ball for the first time.
That's a good curveball right there. That's a rough assignment trying to hit that thing the first time you see it. Kind of like Barry Zito, only a little harder. And Hunter Pence putting on the best emergency swing he could come up with, and it was too late.
Yeah, Hunter thinking trying to swing one of those fastballs.
Exactly what he's thinking.
Arias takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Arias had a double to knock in a big run last night.
Saw the shutdown innings that Gudran has come up with. It's pretty good in that category. It's pretty cool how what used to be just something that was echoed by pitching coaches, and talking about shutdown innings, has now become a full-on statistic. And there's a lot of the modern day stats that are pretty similar as to how they got started. Quick outs. Get a guy out within 3 pitches. Goes in the quick outs category. Pitching coaches profess it's more important for quick outs than strikeouts. You pitch for strikeouts in strikeout situations. Not every hitter you face. Every hitter you face, you're trying to get him out of 3 pitches or less. And the quick outs have become a very good statistic.
Arias hits a high drive to left. Comes back out of here. And Arias hits his first home run of the year, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
He'll do that. He'll run into one every once in a while. And it usually comes in a close game when it means something. Home run last October.
Here's Kieschnick. Kieschnick had 3 hits last night. He scored a couple of runs. If you go by minor league numbers, Kieschnick actually hit better average-wise against lefties.
Let's take a look at the home run from Joaquin Arias, number 1 of the year. Just a little get-it-in breaking ball. Saw early, waited back well, and boom, unloads.
Good curveball. It's now 1-2 to Kieschnick.
Look at the arm action and the angle and the break on the breaking ball. It really reminds you a little bit of David Wells, who had a great breaking ball.
Pedroia. Pedroia will throw out Kieschnick. 2 out. And here's Crawford. Crawford at 270. Crawford does not have a hit in the series. He's 0 for 7. Right now Crawford trying to get on for Zito. Sellout crowd, big boy.
Something you don't ever take for granted. Giants players sure don't.
High to Crawford. Pirates will be in town starting tomorrow night for 4. See, Brandon Crawford likes that pitch up.
That's always been a strength. He's a good high ball hitter.
Search is on. Oh, look at it.
Yeah. I got it. Here I am.
Had it all along.
Cheers.
2-2 pitch.
Braun, hang on there, big boy. Not so fast. That was a high fastball, and he's thinking that's strike 3. I'm going to go have a drink of Kool-Aid.
Crawford nails that in the first row of the upper deck. Dad made a nice catch and handed it to this kid. So the birthday boy, as this is bounced foul.
Another chance for our ball dude, Bob Nealis. It's 2 for 2 this inning. Okay, Bob.
That's just about the speed I like ground balls hit at me as well. 3-2 pitch. Crawford pops this one up and it'll be playable. It'll be Drew. And that'll end the inning. Arias gets the Giants on the board with his first of the year. It's bye-bye baby, and it's the Red Sox 2 and the Giants 1.
Is brought to you by Sonoma Raceway. Catch the IndyCar Go Pro Grand Prix of Sonoma August 23rd through the 25th. For tickets, go to racesonoma.com.
Well, you want to find great ticket deals for future Giants home games? Visit Dynamic Deals page at sfgiants.com/dynamic deals. You can take advantage of the $15 view level dynamic deal on Saturday, August 24th. That's Fedora giveaway day when the Giants take on the Pirates at 6:05. So go to sfgiants.com/dynamic deals.
Ellsbury chases a fastball and misses, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Ellsbury doubled to open up the ball game. He did not score.
Giants are not adjusting their defense. They're playing it the same way. And the same way is straightaway left field, straightaway center. They give him the gap in Leonard center. His last hit kind of sliced into that gap, and it sliced away from Torres, and Kishnik could not catch up to it. So he really split the defense.
And that's just a little low, 1-2.
By about the width of a baseball, or the height of a baseball, which is kind of the same thing.
But if it was a little higher, Ellsbury would be packing.
2-2.
Next pitch for Zito will be number 50. Ideally, you want to be right around 45 at the end of the third.
And that almost hit Ellsbury, and now it's 3-2.
And this becomes a big pitch. Simply because of the speed that Ellsbury represents when he's in that batter's box. You can't walk him. You got to make him swing the bat.
And it's into right field past Belt for a base hit. So Ellsbury now 2 for 2 off from Zito. Zito had him 0-2, so Ellsbury goes back. And here's Victorino. Victorino struck out in the first inning. Ellsbury goes, and this will be late. And Ellsbury steals his 46th base.
He had a pretty good jump on Zito. Zito's got a lot of different moves. He can get anything from a slide step to a high leg kick. And if you guess right when he's up, you're going to get an extra half step at least, and that's about what he was safe by. Say, in watching Ellsbury, who leads the world, at least in North America, of stolen bases at the big league level, he's quick.
Zito took it to Belt, and Belt either missed the bag or Victorino beat it out.
And this is what you can't do against a good team. You can't give them extra outs. I don't know if it was a missed call. Bruce Dreckman is the first base umpire. I think he got him out. So the Red Sox catch a break.
And now Pedroia is going to take the strike.
One more look in the Exmo, our Toyota Exmo, and he got him. He was out. So Zito going to try and pitch through it.
And Pedroia rolls it foul. It's now 0-2. Pedroia sitting on 69 RBI.
Right now, Buster Posey's got to be on his toes if he tries to bounce that curveball home plate, which has always been a pretty good strikeout pitch for Zito against righties. That big slow curve, they get bouncing. He tries to elevate with a fastball. And that's a pitch that he really started working on this year in spring training. That's been a good pitch for him. But Pedroia not biting.
2-2. Ellsbury at third, Victorino at first. Victorino goes, and this is rolled foul.
Victorino hasn't done much running early in this series. He was swinging right-handed against right-handed pitchers, and that's unusual because he's a switch hitter, but he said he wasn't hitting left-handed against the righties because he had a little bit of a hamstring problem. And this is the first time we've seen him run in this series in a steal situation.
Victorino will be checked on by Zito. Two and two. Pedroia with a fly ball to right field in the first inning. He does that here. The Red Sox will pick up a run. And that's a fair ball past the diving Arias. Rolls over the bullpen mound. Pedroia's got a double, and it's 3-1 Red Sox. And that for Pedroia is his 70th run batted in.
Just hooks it past Arias. I mean, that thing was hugging the line. For our Exmo from Toyota. Let's see how close that was to third base, just past the outstretched arm of the backhand attempt from Arias. And with that, Dave Righetti bounced out of that Giants dugout quickly, and it looks like Gene Machi is going to head down and start getting heated up.
So here's David Ortiz. No outs here in the third inning. And Ortiz takes a strike. Scudero playing out in shallow right field. No overshift, although Crawford is playing very close to being right behind the bag. Ortiz bounced out to Belt in the first inning.
Game has slowed down to a very slow pace here this inning.
You look at the designated hitter and some of the all-time ranking for David Ortiz. I'd say that he's probably right around the better ones.
He's the guy. First in home runs, RBIs, hits, runs, doubles. And not even first in games yet. A big league curveball right there.
I think he was looking for it too.
Yeah, me too. Way out in front. Now, when you throw a pitch like that and he swings through it, you're thinking, I can throw that again. But one of Ortiz's strengths is that he covers up a hole pretty quick. A little cutter. It's a huge strikeout. Now Bruce Bochy can pick as to who he wants to pitch to here. A 1-2 little flat cutter. And I think that Big Poppy was a little late on this one.
I think he was looking for another curveball.
I do too. I was thinking he was going to throw it.
So here's Johnny Gomes, who got caught looking in the second. Giants play the infield back with the exception of Belt. And this is tapped foul, and it's 0-1. Gomes' lifetime against Zito is 2 for 10.
And a back foot slider in a perfect location. It looked like Gomes may have pulled off that pitch. And look at the on-base percentage for these Red Sox, and they're all good. Don't lead major leagues in runs scored if you don't get on base.
Zito not close. 1-2. Victorino at third. Pedroia at second. Poke to left. And that's going to fall. Kishnick's throw is cut off. And Gomes knocks in a pair. It's 5-1 Red Sox.
Just off the end of the bat, reaching. And if you're a hitter, that's a thing of beauty. Zito took the legs out, and in an off-balance way, Gomes beats him.
And a strike to Salto Lamacchia, who drew a walk in the second. He was on base when Middlebrooks hit the home run. It's 5-1 Boston. Crawford, and they get the no. They're going to say Scudero was off the bag. And now did he call him out?
I think he did. I think Gomes came off the bag, was laying on top of Scudero, and he reached around and tagged him in the back. And that is what Tim Welke is saying. John Farrell, the skipper of the Red Sox, is going to come out and talk about it. That's pretty good heads-up play from Scudero. And let's watch it. A nice play from Crawford. He trying for the force. Scudero pulls his foot. Now watch Gomes.
Well, if Scudero had his glove on Gomes the whole time, then he was out. He may have been out anyway.
Hey, he touched him on the leg.
So with 2 outs, here's Drew.
That's a play from a veteran second baseman right there. That's got to be a hit then, huh?
Yeah. They're saying fielder's choice. I don't know if I agree with that.
No, I don't agree with that. It should have been a hit.
Which is outside.
Well, if he pulls the flat foot right there, and I think the play was called right, but now watch him come around, touches him, he's out. Tim Welke right there, getting it right. Well done.
Get on the ground to Scudero. And that'll end the inning. Damage done. 3 runs in the inning. We'll head to the bottom of the third at 5-1 Boston.
there's a lot of Bay Area love for Johnny Gomes, especially from Petaluma, where he is from. And with us today, an entire group, 50 folks, came out here from Petaluma, including Petaluma's mayor, David Glass, and former Giants announcer, a good friend of Dwayne and Mike's. Guys, they're out here today to show support for Johnny Gomes, all of his fundraising efforts for the Petaluma community, and especially the Little League World Series team last year that made it all the way to the semifinals. Johnny Gomes always helping out his Petaluma community, and they wanted to say thanks today. Dwayne?
Yeah. Big Giants fans, although they're Johnny Gomes fans today. There's David Glass in the middle.
So Johnny Gomes getting a nice shout out from the queen of P-Town.
Yeah. My first broadcast partner. And David was Hank Greenwald's partner from, probably was 81 through maybe 85.
Good guy.
Great guy. So he had to put up with me coming off the field into the booth. And I've always appreciated what he did for me. Zito with a swing and a miss. It's 2-2.
Well, this is not the first city he was mayor of. He was a mayor of Montreal. That's how we knew him.
Back in the day, in the early 80s, there's David. Yep, that's how I remember David. Oh yeah, we got some stories about that trip to Montreal.
Yeah, we do.
Stories that if we told, he would not be mayor anymore.
He would be impeached.
Here's Torres, who takes a pitch high, 1 ball and no strikes. Slowly hit, charging is Drew, throwing is Drew, and Torres is retired. In 1982, the Giants eliminated the Dodgers. David Glass was at the microphone.
The 1-2 pitch. Morgan belts it high and deep right field. Way back goes Monday to the fence. It is gone! Home run, Joe Morgan. And the Giants lead the Dodgers 5-2.
Oh yeah. Here's David. Here's Scudero with 2 outs. The next time we went to Montreal, remember what David asked us? You want me to bring the ones?
Well, that was a pretty good question. But on a night when he was having a few cold ones, he got a little lost on the streets.
Yes, he did.
Hence, we nicknamed him the mayor of Montreal.
1 ball and 1 strike to Scudero. Scudero skies this one into center field for Ellsbury. And Ellsbury will put it away, and Dubront with a 1-2-3 third. 4th inning coming up. It's 5-1 Red Sox.
Francisco Giants and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
It's a 5-1 lead for the Red Sox. Is Middlebrooks will lead things off, and he takes a pitch down low. Middlebrooks hit a long home run off of Zito in the second.
It's a pretty good seat right there.
Yeah, you could be anywhere and enjoy that seat.
The Caspian out of Flagstaff, Arizona. Yeah, that's a big league boat right there.
So, can you get to Flagstaff without taking that out of the water?
No. But that's the whole point. You could have just as much fun being towed around the back of a trailer in that thing.
3-0 to Middlebrooks.
Well, I got to believe Zito's on a short leash, and just as we're saying that, the Giants are getting Machi back up. It won't take him long to get heated up. And those are things you're aware of when you're on the mound out there. I mean, it's a subtle way for a manager to motivate you.
Didn't miss by much. Here's our AT&T trivia question. Tweet your answer to @CSN Giants. What former Giants player was the first designated hitter in Boston Red Sox history?
That's a good question.
Here's Dubron to hit a bullet to Arias. Here he tries to bunt for a hit, and he bunts it foul. So Arias charging, Belt charging as well. And DeBron pulls the bat back and takes wide. 1 ball and 1 strike. And if you're Arias, that'll loosen you up a little bit at third. You already know the guy can go that way. He hit a 1-hop bullet to Arias in the second inning.
Well, DuPont definitely knows how to handle that bat. Behind the bleachers in left field.
Hi, boy. And they get the out at first. And here's Ellsbury. Ellsbury's 2 for 2 against Zito. Hit into left center field. Torres a long run, and it's going to be Kieschnick who makes the catch. And Kieschnick with a good strong throw back in, 2 out.
Very similar to the very first at bat that Ellsbury had in the first inning when he had a double between that gap.
Here's Victorino. Victorino with 2 outs. takes his first breaking ball up high. 1 ball and no strikes.
Gorgeous day for it, as always. And the ballpark never looks as pretty as when it's full.
So it's 2-0 to Victorino.
Although this place is pretty special, there's nobody in it. I'll take a walk over here at night when everybody's gone. Just stand out there in the middle of the field, center field.
So you got the keys?
Yes, I do. Still pretty spectacular.
Popped up. It's Belt. It's nobody. Coming in to score is Middlebrooks. Belt and Pence coming together, and nobody making any attempt.
Yeah, that's going to get Zito out of the game. And that last one was not his fault.
So it's 6-1. When it's time for a change, think Speedy oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Cache Creek Casino Resort. Cache Creek's endless summers. Waves of cash every day. Visit cachecreek.com for details.
6-1 Red Sox.
The pitcher now for Bruce Bochy is going to be Gene Machi. He's being called back up. First game that he has been into for the year, and he's 34th appearance. He's had a pretty healthy body of work, and he's done well. 45 base runners in 35 innings pitched. I'll give you a fastball that's low to mid-90s, slider, and a split, which really is more of a forkball. He really jams that thing deep between his forefinger and his middle finger, and he'll throw it to righties or lefties. It's his best pitch.
Facing Pedroia, and this is hit on the ground to Arias, and Arias will throw out Pedroia, and that'll end the inning. Bottom of the fourth coming up. Belt, Posey, and Pence. Giants have work to do.
Academy for a behind-the-scenes tour. It's a high school group that came by to visit with the head groundskeeper, Greg Elliott, who talked about how AT&T Park uses a lot of green efforts, especially that grounds crew. Hey, guys, did you know that every time the grounds crew renovates the field, they use more than 3 million tons of recycled dirt? They reuse sod for all of the big events they have here, and the remaining sod is used as topsoil. Edison High School, New Energy Academy. Way to go. Way to learn about it. You know, the motto here is go green or go home, guys.
That's it. Exactly. Here's Belt. Belt takes the pitch inside. Belt popped out to right field. This is the home half of the fourth inning. Buster Posey on deck. And then Hunter Pence.
Well, they take their recycling very serious here. Every piece of refuse that gets thrown into the trash receptacle gets gone through and put in the right direction. And it's 24 hours they are working that department. It's right out by where the Giants parking lot is, out behind left field. And those are the trash receptacles you see.
2-1 pitch. Belt goes the other way. It'll be a long run for Gomes. And Gomes is going to make the catch as he ends up on his belly, and it's 1 out here in the fourth inning.
Good play. That ball was really slicing away from Gomes. Almost like it was running away from him. And in the end, he winds up doing a little belly slide. I think he needed it. You know, he's getting dirty anyway. Playing into his hand. Nice play.
Here's Buster Posey. Buster hit a fly ball to center field. He's 0 for 1. Here he takes a strike with Hunter Pence on deck. Hit to right. Victorino, however, moving back, and he'll put it away. 2 outs. All right, let's ask and answer our AT&T trivia question. What former Giants player was the first DH in Boston Red Sox history? And if you said Orlando Cepeda, then you would be correct. That's who Mike and I talked about during the half inning.
That's a pretty good one to start out with.
Pence down the right field line, but that's going to slice foul.
There you see Orlando Cepeda in a Red Sox uni. And that's not the only Hall of Famer that they took out of San Francisco. They took Juan Marichal, Kevin Mitchell, Rod Beck.
J.T. Snow. Here's the 0-2 to Pence, and it's high. I can assure you that Orlando Cepeda never choked up in a Giants uniform. Ever.
Yeah, they're the things a hitter would notice.
And he only did that when he got to the American League. And the 1-2. And Pence, a swing and a miss, and that'll end the inning. 3 strikeouts for runs. 6-1 Red Sox.
Receive a bullpen rock poster, and there's also a special event package for this night that includes a ticket to the game versus the Rockies and an Elvis Presley Giants bobblehead. For tickets, go to sfgiants.com/special events. Remember, you need to get the ticket package to get the bobblehead.
Here's Ortiz facing Machi. Overshift is on, and the pitch. And it's a strike. Gomes on deck. And then Salta Lamacchia. And another strike.
Split's good pitch, man. When he gets that thing going and gets a feel for the strike zone with it, that's a good pitch against righties, against lefties. It's just a good pitch. The thing is, you can't throw it so much that you forget about that fastball that you can heat it up between 93 and 95.
One ball and two strikes. Got him.
And finished him off with that fastball. Nice pitch. So Taylor Ortiz has not done much in this series with the bat against the Giants. Giants pitching have pitched him well.
So with one out, here's Johnny Gomes. And Gomes takes a strike. Hey, they're getting ready to grab some chow.
God, looks like lamb chops. That is a big league barbecue.
0-2.
Big league breaking ball. And that's a boat that makes people look small.
Oh, and 2 to Gomes. 0-3 to Gomes.
That was filthy dirty. That's what I mean about being effective for both righties and lefties. Watch the swing from Gomes.
So we now have a swing by Hunter Pence and a swing by Gomes.
Dueling ugliness.
So little leaguers at home, even big leaguers aren't pretty when they swing and miss sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, the thing is, they have to do it in front of 41,000 people.
Anybody see that?
I think maybe they did.
Here's Salta Lamacchia.
Bruce Bochy has openly said that he loves the stuff and the makeup of Gene Machi. And a couple times when he's been sent out this year, it's just been simply a numbers game when he has had options left. Other guys have not.
Well, right now, Ortiz and Gomes are going to mention something to John Farrell like, maybe we ought to try to get this guy at some point.
Yeah, he can be impressive.
Well, 1-2.
And he just impressed Salta Lamacchia with it as well. It's not the normal spin you see on a split. He gets it deeper into his hand. Because of it, it's more of a tumbling type movement than a rotation that other splits would have.
And when just got to be.
Throws it right, he'll have movement away from the left-handed hitter.
1-2. Stephen Drew on deck. And the pitch is outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Kind of fell off that one, through that front shoulder. The other thing, too, about Machi that we've noticed, he's slow. Very deliberate. A lot of the guys who are coming out of the Giants bullpen are like that. Moscoso, another very deliberate worker.
So the count gets to 3-2. We're getting ready.
Yep. I need to start doing that. Breaking out the rubber gloves when I set the table.
If you did that, I'd have to go.
I think my wife would kick me
Well,
out.
no, I think that you were up to. What was he doing that he needed to use those rubber gloves? Here's Torres, and this should end the inning, and it does. So the first 1-2-3 inning in this game for the Red Sox. Giants are coming up. Break out the white gloves.
And up steps Joaquin Arias. So what's he do? Well, he takes Felix Ruban out of the yard. Home run number 1 of the year for Arias. And that's our AT&T U-verse rewind.
A big fly.
A big fly.
Mike Napoli has come in to play first base. So David Ortiz will call it a day.
Call it a series. So he goes 0 for San Francisco.
So Arias is going to lead things off. So here's Arias with Kishnik on deck, and the pitch. And he shoots this one on the ground, and Pedroia is going to knock it down, and his throw is going to be offline, and Arias is aboard. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, guys, we have a new webisode of Bull Shootin', your favorite. It's brought to you by Acura, and I chat with Guillermo Moscoso. He talks about how he's played for the A's and the Giants. He feels like the Bay Area is home, and he also tells us which Giants batter he does not ever want to face. It's pretty cool. CSNBayArea.com. Bull Shootin', brought to you by Acura. Dwayne.
All right, Amy. She's getting close, isn't she?
Bull shooting. Yeah, she is.
Here's Kieschnick. Kieschnick takes a strike. It's 0-1. Kieschnick bounced out to Pedroia. Pops this one out of play, third base side. Well, Giants need to get a couple of more base runners to at least give themselves an opportunity to get back into this game. Right now it's a 5-run lead for the Red Sox.
They ruled out a base hit for Arias.
Yeah. No swing. 1-2. Napoli holding on Arias, and the 1-2 delivery, and it's way outside. It's 2-2. Dodgers will head to LA after the game. They have a day off tomorrow, and they'll open up that series at Dodger Stadium Friday night. Houston fouls it back. See young Mike Kickham in the bullpen. He's put together some good starts in AAA lately.
Yeah, he definitely has had a good year of improvement. And if you sign a contract professionally, I mean, that's the one thing that they look at. They always say the last thing they remember is the last thing you did. And the bottom line is, however you start the season, get better. And Kickham has done that.
Kieschnick pops it up. Middle of the diamond, it's going to be Pedroia. Pirates will be in town. They'll start tomorrow night. The Saturday game is a 6:05 start. And the first 20,000 fans will receive the Giants fedora. And it's presented by Grayton Resort and Casino. And then on Sunday at 1:05 start, the Tim Lincecum Gnome to the first 30,000 fans. And it's presented by Coca-Cola and Lucky. Visit sfgiants.com.
Different perspective.
Crawford popped out in the second. If he reaches, Hill will hit with a couple of people on base. Saltalamacchia moves around pretty good back there for a big guy. One and one. Uh-oh. Out of play.
Yeah, just 4 stubborn ones. Maybe 5 left. Yeah. It's about time to sit down and start challenging.
1-2 to Crawford. Crawford puts one out to Gomes, and he'll make the running catch. So a nice at bat for Crawford. And here's Pill.
I want to get that. I want to get that. I want to get that. Yeah, a bowl like that's got to have a couple crew members, doesn't it?
In our house, that would be our kids.
Yeah. No, we would be the crew members for the kids.
Yeah, you're right. Bill drives it out into Triples Alley for Victorino, and that'll end the inning. No runs, an infield hit. One left, through 5, 6-1 Red Sox.
Giants Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area is brought to you by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
It's a 6-1 lead for the Red Sox. There's your score, 6-1.
New pitcher now for the Giants. Might kick him.
On the ground to Belt, and Belt will make the play. So here's Middlebrooks.
Let's see what Mike Hickam has done in 5 games. He got some education while he was here. Went back down, worked on some things. And Giants pretty high on the way that he has progressed. So this time through, see how he applies it.
Middlebrooks is homered and he's walked. He scored twice. And there's a strike at the knees. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Mike Hickham's a big guy, 6'4", 220 pounds. 24 years old. Doesn't care if his shirt's untucked.
Not a problem. 2-2.
Yep. Umpire saying, yo, dude, tuck your shirt in, meat. Oh, sorry.
So the umpires have to be in charge of wardrobe as well.
Absolutely.
The wardrobe police.
Groom control.
It's 3-2. And the payoff. Here it is. Tapped. Crawford, tricky hop, and he hangs in there with it. And he throws out Middlebrooks.
First time today that the Giants been able to get Middlebrooks out.
All right. Of the classic hats What do you think about these two?
I'm seeing the one on the left's a bit more traditional. And you've got to have an attitude to pull the other one off.
Attitude, or you don't care?
Or you lost a bet.
I'm saying that that's a Giants fan, and he did not bring anything to protect his face from the sun. And he asked somebody around there if they had a hat. And there you go.
I think you may have hit the nail on the head.
There's a good Giants fan just trying to keep from getting sunburned.
Either he just found it on the floor.
Well, we have seen quite a few Red Sox fans in attendance in this series.
Oh, they have shown up well. I mean, they represent everywhere they go. But that hat, I don't know.
LeBron strikes out to end the inning. Okay, yep, attitude, baby. He's got attitude. It's 6-1 Red Sox.
Time now for McDonald's True Stories in this date in Giants history. Go back to August 21st, 2003. That's when the Giants got their first sweep over the Braves since September of 1990. And that's when Barry hit his 100th long ball at then what was named Patco Park. The home run was a walk-off for a 4-3 win. And this was Bond's second walk-off clout in 3 days. Our McDonald's True Stories.
Just one of 756. The Giants will have the top of the order coming up here in the 6th inning. Are they leaving?
Yep, I think they're heading out to sea. They've had lunch and now it's time to head out. They're leaving without a Smooth.
I know.
The thing's almost as big as the ferry.
Torres is 1 for 2. Knocked Dubront's glove off on a base hit in the first inning and then got picked off. It's this one high on the right field line, but it's going to lift foul. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
You literally could go around the world in this thing. Not a problem.
You think underneath there somewhere's a flat screen?
I'll bet that thing comfortably sleeps 12.
Yeah, I don't care about that. Does it have a flat screen?
Oh, yeah.
Well, then I'm in.
Probably 10 of them.
Low to Torres. 2-2.
That's what Benito Santiago's doing now. He's selling those things down in Florida.
discount?
Sure.
2-2 pitch to Torres. Foul back. And that's in the club section just to our right. Low, it's 3-2. Torres, a little pop-up, center field, and it's Drew who backpedals and he makes the catch.
Tell you one thing Dubron has done a nice job of today is getting off the sweet spot, getting the ball up the bat of the right-handers. A lot of fly balls, a lot of lazy fly balls are just off the sweet spot. And in that regard, he has kept the Giants off balance, which really is the goal of a pitcher.
Scudero has walked and he's flied out. Skies this one into left center field for Ellsbury, 2 outs.
Another easy fly ball.
And here's Brandon Belt. Belt hit a ball well to the left that Gomes tracked down in the 4th inning. The Red Sox put the overshift on Belt.
Wishbone defense. I mean, they really played the infield to pull. There's a look at it.
It's such an exaggerated defense if you look at it from our view. The outfield playing Belt to go the other way, the infield playing Belt to pull. And he skies this one out to Victorino. And that'll end the inning. So another nice inning for the lefty Felix Dubron. From the Cove, it's 6-1 Red Sox. Toyota dealer. Dubron's been fabulous. Barry Zito went 3 2/3, got knocked around a little bit. Middlebrooks had a 2-run home run. Arias hit his first home run of the year. He's 2 for 2, and it's 6-1 Red Sox. They're trying to take the series with a win today.
Well, my kick, I'm going to get tested right here at the top of the Red Sox lineup.
And a strike to Jacob Ellsbury. Off of Zito, Ellsbury went 2 for 3. And he shoots this one off of the glove of Pickham, and Crawford almost threw him out. Nice play.
Well, Jacoby Ellsbury just doesn't give you. Ellsbury, I beg your pardon, does not give you much time. He gets down that line so well that if the ball is deflecting and goes to another infielder, you're just not going to have enough time. See the step from Crawford, and all of a sudden now he's got to redirect and come back to it. So I don't know if Ellsbury will steal with a 5-run lead.
Victorino into center field. Torres is camped underneath it, and he makes the catch. All right, let's check in with Amy G. Amy.
All right, gentlemen, congratulations to Hunter Pence. He was chosen as the Giants recipient of the Heart and Hustle Award. Now, a player from each of the 30 Major League Baseball teams is chosen by former players. So the alumni choose these guys. It goes to a player who shows passion on and off the field. And then one winner will be announced of those 30 in November. So congratulations to Hunter, guys.
Absolutely. Here's Pedroia with 1 out and 1 on. And Pedroia takes a call strike. Swing and a miss by Pedroia. Pedroia doubled in a run. Hit a ball right over the bag at third. In the third.
I think one thing that Kickham learned when he got up here is it's not enough just to have good stuff. You've got to have good location with that good stuff.
One and 2 to Dustin Pedroia, with Ellsbury being held on by Belt. We are in the 7th. Pass Belt into right field, a base hit. Pedroia's going for 2. Pence's throw is going to come into Scudero, and that's a double for Pedroia.
Well, it's just what you get with Pedroia. I mean, I think he goes with the location as good as anybody. They set up in the outside corner, and I mean, that's not a hanger. I mean, that's a good pitch. He's backdooring that outside location. But watch Pedroia stay in this thing and go with the location to right. I mean, his hips are pointing to right field and really uses his hands in a beautiful way. So a very quiet lower body that puts in position to beat location. And that really is how you would describe his style of hitting.
So here's Napoli. Remember, Napoli came in for Ortiz, and now the infield is in, and that's a called strike. Giants play the infield all the way in. At third is Ellsbury. At second is Pedroia. Swinging a foul. It's 0-2.
Pure strikeout situation for Kickham. And I think that's how you evaluate young pitchers when they come up to the big leagues, is how they handle situation. There are times you're going to pitch for a ground ball. There's times you're going to pitch for a strikeout. And right now, you're just happy you don't have that guy's pants on.
I thought they were going to ask him to leave. 0-2. That foul again. It stays at 0-2. Napoli, another one of those Red Sox hitters that have a good amount of RBIs. He's got 69. And he got him. So Kickham gets a big strikeout.
Yeah, and it's what the situation said you should pitch for. And that's a job well done. Now, he does have an advantage in that Johnny Gomes has never faced him. So he saved that little back foot slider for a payoff pitch, but he put it right where he needed to. He gets the swing through.
So here's Gomes. That was Napoli.
I beg your pardon. Mike Napoli.
Gomes struck out twice. He did dump a single in the left field that knocked in a pair. And he takes a backdoor breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. I mean, I think there isn't any doubt you can see a difference in this outing by Kickham than some of the other ones he's had.
Well, it's also that he's starting to get accustomed to the speed. I'll never forget the very first big league game I ever saw as a big league player. I was in awe of how much faster the game was going than the AAA level that I had just come from. And it's a bit intimidating. It really is. And a pitcher has to be in control of so many things. But every time you get back up here, it gets a little bit easier. And then one day you stay.
2-1 to Johnny Gomes. And that pitch is not close, so it's 3-1. Two in the second, 3 in the third, 1 in the fourth for the Red Sox. Giants have the lone run on the Joaquin Arias home run, and that came in the second. And Gomes takes the walk. Kickham did have a base to play with, but he doesn't anymore. Checking out of the office for a couple hours.
I think that was the concept when they had the idea of coming downtown with a ballpark in the first place. Especially these day games, midweek, businessman special.
Well, the day games here, midweek day games are a hit. Salta Lamacchia takes a call strike.
See a lot of ties in attendance.
Hit on the ground and past Scudero for a base hit. Pedroia is going to score, and that makes it an 8-1 game. So Kickham nearly got out of it. He did get a ground ball, but it was past Marco Scudero.
Take a look at the pitch. Inside out. Approach from Salta Lamacchia. Hit that ball through the right side.
So here's Drew. Drew takes a strike, and it's 0-1. The 2 RBIs for Salta Lamacchia. He's now got 50. Drew is just 3 RBIs shy of 50.
When you look at the RBI totals on this team, it's amazing.
Ellsbury is 3 RBIs shy of 50. Down low. And it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Red Sox have scored 645 runs, which leads the major leagues in that category. most runs scored in the National League is St. Louis Cardinals with 606.
Drew down the line. Hit well. It is gone. So that puts Drew right at the 50 RBI mark. It also gives him double digits in home runs.
Now Dave Righetti going to come out and try and calm his young left-hander down. This has not gone the way. And it's amazing how you get a ground ball, the bases loaded, just out of the reach of a second baseman, and it winds up costing you 5 earned runs. And Drew gets every bit of this one.
Well, we thought when this park opened that we would see a lot of those down the right field line, and we don't. So here's Middlebrooks. Middlebrooks hit a home run in the second inning. And he takes a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. On the ground to Arias at third. And this will indeed end the inning. It's 11-1 Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the 7th.
Bottom of the 7th inning, 11-1 Red Sox. Reminder to stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants postgame live highlights, reaction, and analysis, and it's all coming up right after the game. Container ship coming into port as it passes the Bay Bridge, Treasure Island, on a very calm day in the Bay. Not a whole lot of wind. Here, it has been a great day to hit if you're a Boston player. Felix DeBrant enjoying a 10-run advantage here as he gets set to face the Giants here in the 7th. And he has been very good today. The Giants have just been able to get 3 hits off him. The big blow came off the bat of Joaquin Arias. There's Will Middlebrooks, who moves over to second now.
Posey hits one hard to third, and And the throw is going to be high. And Posey's going to be aboard.
So Bogaerts at third base gets tested right away. But he does not draw an error. Posey cannot advance 90 feet, and Posey gets a hit.
So you get into the ball game and you get one of those.
Xander Bogaerts. Yep. It's the big leagues. Not supposed to be easy.
So Buster Posey with a base hit. And a breaking ball in the dirt. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Team Oracle just out practicing. They are in the finals of the America's Cup, and they'll start in September defending their crown. Today just getting a workout.
Down low to Hunter Pence. 2 balls and no strikes.
Team Emirates from New Zealand trying to get to the finals.
6, 4, 3. Pence hit it hard.
All right, swing for the fences with a new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. You can choose one of 32 Home Run Derby competitors, including everybody from this year's 2013 Derby at the All-Star Game. It's available on iPhone, iPad, and select Android devices. Download MLB.com's Home Run Derby game for free today.
So here's Arias. And that pitch is high. Arias hits one into center field, but Ellsbury appears to have a beat on it, and he'll put it away to end the 7th. 8th inning coming up. All Red Sox. Mark Purdy from the Merc, Barry Tompkins, Mark Kreider from 95.7, Paris Cox, he's a Niner quarterback, Matt Myoko, he's 49ers everything, Chip Bowers from the Warriors front office, Melanie Collins, she's a Yahoo Sports correspondent, My word. They got a lot of stuff going on.
Yes, they do.
DuBront is facing Kickham, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Two and 1. An empty on deck circle.
It's illegal.
This is chopped. It's picked up by Kickham and he throws out DuBront. Sanchez is now doing the catching. Daniel Nava's going to hit. Nava hitting for Ellsbury. Another guy with double digits in home runs and another guy with 50+ RBIs. So Nava, who started both games in this series, had a very good night on Monday. He went 3 for 4. Yesterday, 1 for 4. Switch hitter and bounces this one. Scudero juggles it, and Scudero cannot get a handle on it. And Nava's aboard.
Well, Daniel Nava, who historically did something quite remarkable. His first big league at bat, bases loaded, steps up, first pitch he sees, and he hits a grand slam. So the Bay Area kid went to Santa Clara is our Ford right choice today as we honor that moment. Kevin Youkilis absolutely initiating him to the head slap after you hit a grand slam. Our Ford right choice.
Scudero charged with an error. Here's Victorino, who takes the pitch wide. Bogarts is on deck. And Victorino takes wide, 2-0. Nope, he's not going to get it. It's 3-0.
Well, if I'm an umpire, I start to expand a little bit.
You think?
Yeah.
How about more than a little bit?
And if I'm a hitter, I expand a little bit.
Victorino takes a strike. 3-2. Here's the play by Scudero, and if Scudero backhands this ball, could be a hit.
Good things to know.
Because he got in front of it. An error. Base hit, left field. Victorino's second hit.
So the education for Mike Kickham continues.
Well, he's not about to be taken out of the game, I can tell you that.
Well, unfortunately, this is what the dog days is all about. This is the time when you're most vulnerable as a pitching coach because you know that your troops are tired.
You got 10 days until the roster's expanded.
September 1st, they'll bring up 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or however many pitchers you need to protect them. But right now, I mean, guys are overworked, and it's been a long season.
Here's Bogarts. Bogarts got his first big league start and went 0 for 3 last night. And he takes a breaking ball inside, 1 ball and no strikes.
And if you're wondering about Kickham as to how many pitches he can throw, that last one was number 49. He's good for 100. He'd been starting down in Fresno, and his normal day to throw, I believe, was today. So he's good to go. But the strike zone has become tight, and that's not helping this kid out.
Or the game. Tap back to Kickham, and he throws it away. So coming in to score is Nava. Going over to third is Victorino, and it'll be an error on Kickham.
And that could have ended the inning. Comebacker, all the time in the world, and just throws a little cutter away from Crawford, who had no chance.
So here's Napoli. One out. Runners at the corners. And Napoli with a big swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike.
You have to remind yourself.
On the ground to Arias. Arias to Scudero. Scudero to Belt. And that'll end the inning. 12-1 Red Sox. We'll have the first pitch of the ball game right around the top of the hour. It is game 1 of a 4-game series. All 4 games will be right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Giants head to Colorado, 3 there, an off day, and then on to Phoenix. It's a 12-1 lead for the Red Sox as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Kieschnick is going to lead things off. Nava stays in the game. Nava is in right field as Kieschnick takes a ball, 1 ball and no strikes.
So Victorino moves over to center with Ellsbury out of the game now. So some of the regulars getting a few innings off to rest those legs. Kieschnick going out of the strike zone. That's something he hasn't done a whole lot of since he's been called up.
And that's lifted back and out of place 2-2.
Now the Virgin American Loft has got some great art on the wall, and this is one that we are quite fond of. The Mays, 1958, headlining Seal Stadium.
Napoli goes to the bag. Kieschnick is retired. See the Hall of Famers in that shot. The stretch in the middle, Cepeda on the right. Michael named that team.
Well, it's John McGraw in the middle. That's one of the New York Giants World Championships teams. I'm not sure which one. Could be 1921.
That's 21. Here's Crawford who takes a strike.
Could be 1905. I don't know. 1922. It's one of those three.
Right in between there. Crawford takes a strike. And on this next pitch, he hammers one into left field. Brandon Crawford picks up his first hit.
Well, he's hit the ball hard a couple times that way off of Dubron. I mean, that's what you want. See Crawford go that way hard against lefties.
See the program cover from the '62 World Series. Kickham takes a pitch down low. Bit of a wet World Series, if I recall. Kickham with a swing and a miss.
Pitch number 103, and there's some activity down in the bullpen for the Red Sox.
Kickham fouls it out of play. It's 1-2. We talked about the Pirates coming into town tomorrow night. There's a double play ball back to Dubron. The throw to first is not in time. And Jeff Locke will be on the mound for the Pirates against Matt King.
Bill Rigney, the skipper on the right. Happy days. Good looking unit too.
So here's Torres. Torres is 1 for 3. Torres opened up the bottom of the first. He had a line drive off the glove of Dubron. Pops this one out of play. Dubron's, unless he gets tagged here for a bunch of runs, his ERA is going to go down. He's only allowed 1 run. (12-1) Red Sox. Charlie Morton and Madison Bumgarner on Friday. Giants will see for the second time this year Francisco Liriano on Saturday against Tim Lincecum. And then A.J. Burnett on Sunday against Ryan Vogelsong. The Giants are going to see 4 very good Pirate pitchers. And it is the reason why they're in first place in the National League Central. Torres pops this one right in front of us. In 1913, the White Sox and the Giants, well, they toured Egypt. And while they were there, a ball game broke out. Unbelievable. Torres skies one deep to left and foul. So a game broke out, and these guys are ready. They have their uniforms on. And however, the guy on the right forgot his cleats.
How about that?
Yeah, that's not good.
We're going to Egypt. Bring your uni.
Torres fouls it back.
I mean, who came up with that idea?
What, to go to Egypt?
Yeah. John McCraw's wife wanted to go.
Yeah, he said, we're going. You're going to go. Torres hooks this one foul.
But, you know, back in the day, these guys were making like $2,000 a year. And once the season ended, they had to find jobs.
They had a card show.
Yeah, right. They didn't even have baseball cards back then. So somebody said, hey, we're going to Egypt. You're going to get like $75 a week. Oh, they're lined up to go.
Torres lifts this one out to shallow right field where Nava's coming in, and he's going to make the running catch to end the inning. Ninth inning coming up. It's 12-1 Red Sox. It's after Giants postgame live, and it's at 6 p.m. this afternoon. Ahmed Fareed and David Feldman, they'll do the honors with Amy G. With Giants clubhouse reaction, Mariners and A's highlights, and the 49ers new backup quarterback. Who? Well, maybe you'll find out at 6 o'clock. Here's kicking to face Napoli. Check that, Johnny Gomes. Napoli ended the 8th inning by hitting into a double play. So Gomes, Salto Lamacchia, and then Drew. Strike to even the count.
Good 1-0 breaking ball right there. What you have to do, whatever you have pitch-wise, whatever movement you could put on a baseball, you have to have the confidence to throw it in any count when you get to the big leagues. if you have a pitch that you can, it's pretty nasty. If you can't rely on it to get in the strike zone when you need it, don't think of it as a pitch you can throw. You could throw it 0-2 or 1-2, but you can't throw it 3-2. Don't think of it as something you can rely on.
Two-two pitch, and Gomes is out swinging. Stay tuned for the post-game wrap. That's coming up after the ball game, and I'll also talk about. Well, I'm not going to talk about this game, but I will be on with Mac tomorrow morning on KMBR 680. So there
you go. Talk about that guy's hat.
So here's Salto Lamacchia. So go back to what you said about if you can't throw it 3-2, then what you're telling me is guys like Greg Maddux had 4 pitches they could throw 3-2.
He probably had 7 different types of movement he could put on a ball. Fastball, he could 2 and 4 seam, a cutter, curveball, slider, changeup, 2 types of grip. Yeah, I'd say about 7. And yes, he could throw every one of those in a 3-2 count. You never had him backed into a corner. And that's what happens with a lot of young pitchers. They got a couple pitches that they can throw for strikes, and if one of those pitches isn't working, well, guess what? They're forced to throw that one pitch. Well, hitters do that. They eliminate what you can get over, what you're likely to throw. Plus now they get a printout before every game what your tendencies are, what you throw 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 3-2. That's information they have. So they can get in there and then they know that you're going to throw 87% of the time a fastball and a 3-1 count. Well, guess what they're going to look for?
Kickham will grab this and throw to Belt.
And it's even worse than that for a pitcher because they're going to tell you not only what the pitch is and what percentage he'll throw it in a certain count, they'll tell you what side of the plate he likes to throw it on. So you have to be able to have at your fingertips, literally, the feeling to throw 4 or 5 types of movement if you're going to be a starter in this league. Unless you just have 3 incredibly exceptional pitches. But it's small education to learn a 2-seam and a 4-seam fastball. To learn how different a pitch looks at the knees as opposed to what it looks like at the shoulders. By changing sight lines, there's 2 different pitches. When you start to think about that and understand that as a pitcher, that's a quantum leap.
Drew hit a home run off of Kickham in the 7th inning.
Now you learn a changeup that you can throw 3-2, 2-0, 3-1. There you go. Now you got some weapons. You can change the grip on a changeup. Give yourself a little different variance on the speed. Learn a cut fastball that isn't that hard to throw. And I think I'm boring this guy.
Oh, you got my full attention. That guy, he may have heard it before.
But I think it's not so much learning different pitches as learning different movements. And then once you learn movement, then you can apply it to different type of swing types. And that's the real education you put.
Nice catch. Really nice catch. Maybe the best catch of the day.
Well, that was a flame coming into this guy. Brought his glove. Got a ball, saved a life. Nice play.
Two and two, not a Drew. Drew now asked for time. The 3 RBIs for Drew in that 7th inning gives him 50. Skies it to left. Kieschnick made it a little interesting. We will go to the bottom of the 9th. A lot of work to do for the Giants. It's a 12-1 lead for the Red Sox, and it's time for a change. Think Speed, oil change and tune-up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Well, meet Koji Uehara, 57th game that he has been in, and he has assumed the responsibility of the closer. And look at the numbers: 38 base runners and 55 2/3, 77 strikeouts against 9 walks in 55 innings. And how does he do it? He's got high 80s, low 90s fastball and a great split. I mean, it is world class. Uehara pitched a long time for the Yomiuri Giants, or the for Yomiuri in the Japanese league, and he was a perennial all-star as a starter. Came over here with Baltimore in 2009, has found a home in Boston, and he has now become their closer. And he's a good one.
Scooter up the middle. On the backhand is Middlebrooks, and Middlebrooks will throw him out. So here's Belt. Belt, who's been red hot, does not have a hit today. He's 0 for 3. And Belt takes a strike. Big overshift is on again for Belt. And that's a big swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Yep. Still hanging in there. Lots of faith. And Belt's gone.
That is nasty. And you can see why he's got high strikeout totals watching the pitch performance of that split. It just dies. You say, why are they bringing in a closer in a 12-1 game? He needs work. As I said earlier, they've got a day off tomorrow as they head down to Los Angeles. Got to keep your closer sharp.
On the ground to Drew, and this should do it, and it will do it, and that ends the ball game. So a game where the Giants needed to win to take the series, and that does not happen, as this one ends up being a laugher, and it's just a large score for the Red Sox over the Giants this afternoon.
Well, the Red Sox played good ball in this series.